pero a former one after me. So really very coincidental, no? Really interesting coincidence that I would have two people as my bosses in different phases of my career, both of whom had a really common passion and concern for rural development. So I was very happy about that. In fact, I can say both Tonys had greatly kindled my passion and commitment to pursuing rural development up to this day. It was in 1979 that I first got to interact formally with Father Tony in relation to the Asian NGO preparations for the World Conference on Agrarian Reform and Rural Development, or WACARD for short. That was to be held in Rome in that same year, and I think Edgar mentioned this at lunchtime today. I had the task to follow up on the 7 country reports from Asia on land reform, which included, of course, the Philippines, that would be submitted to the WACARD in Rome. Those who attended the workshop in Bangkok from the 7 countries chose Father Tony to be the NGO representative to the WACARD, representing the Asian NGOs. That workshop also led to the formation of the Asian NGO Coalition for Agrarian Reform and Rural Development, rebellious here as well. That was in Bangkok in 1979. Forward to the early 1980s, with the re-envisioning of PhilDRA, the Philippine partner of Sendra, which I helped to reorganize as national coordinator, the pioneer NGOs from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao realized the importance of choosing a national chairperson who could be a mediating and unifying figure for the renewed rural development NGO network, PhilDRA. Someone who was not coming from Imperial Manila or Imperial Luzon, but from Mindanao, where so much action along with land reforms and rural development was happening, as somebody like Joel is very well aware of as well. It was a consensus that Bishop Tony filled that role. And so for several years, he very graciously served as a national chairperson of PhilDRA, representing the Mindanao NGOs. He was present in so many regional, national board meetings and general assemblies during that time, lending a quiet, humble, and very wise guidance to the NGO membership. He was always supportive of various initiatives of the network, starting with its AR, Agrarian Reform programs, such as TRIPAR, the MINCARD, and so many other acronyms in the case of Mindanao, and of course the capability building programs for the NGO members. When I did my thesis on agrarian reform beneficiary co-ops in Bukidnon several decades ago, and I would use Sirsolin as my base for data gathering weeks at a time in the early 2000s with Raquel's help, I would often bump into Father Tony, as he was then the Dean of the College of Agriculture and head of Sirsolin. He was always ever welcoming and hospitable in my many visits. We would also see him occasionally when he would visit Rome for FAO-related meetings. And later on, in his capacity as Bishop of Ipil, and then as Archbishop of Cagayan de Oro. And Edward and I are ever grateful that he has continued through the years to be in touch, even when we were living in Rome. I remember the different advocacies he has carried in the past decades, beyond just land reform and rural development, of course, which we would learn about as he would share about them in those occasions when we would meet. And of course, sharing with us his articles and books on different subjects, such as the Bishop Ulama Peace Dialogues, which already has been mentioned a lot of times, the peace and development theme. And he was instrumental in birthing a lot of that in Mindanao. And including the beads method of natural family planning, which he was ever willing to share with the church groups and communities, even in Rome. So the natural family planning method has been shared with church communities also, with the OFWs in Rome. I was never really sure of Bishop Tony's age until we got that invitation, pleasantly surprising invitation from Raquel to attend the 80th birthday celebration. And it took all of a few seconds, a few minutes to decide that we would definitely go. We could not miss this occasion to meet him personally. Bishop Tony has always looked youthful and fit, while aging very graciously, something we admire and envy, and while continuing to be so actively engaged in the many advocacies that he espouses and supports. We are blessed with this opportunity to come and spend this time with so many other fans of Bishop Tony, like us, to thank him for his valuable contributions to reform, rural development, peace and development in the region and in the country, in the different capacities he has had, and his ever-calming presence through the decades, which have inspired several generations of us, as evidenced here in this room, to give our own small contributions, including those of us who are getting on in years, to inspire us to continue to fight and work for the causes we believe in. So thank you again, Bishop Tony, and a blessed and wonderful 80th birthday.